I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is March 12th, Tuesday, 2024. Hope you had a good day here. So, CPI, murdered it. We're not afraid of CPI. Now, here's the thing. Gambling on CPI, trying to take this sell that I'm about to take, it is gambling. 100%, I'm going to be honest with you. Have I seen this 1,000 times? Do I know how to take this sell? Yes, I do. If you go back test all the CPIs, you'll see it's damn near in the same nature. It's always going to make some little highs like that, as you can see here, and then sell off hard, right? So where do we sell off? We went right to this gap. Now, again, here's the thing. I know how to do this, right? I screenshot on the 5-minute. On a 1-minute was a little bit more clear, but I needed to get the 5-minute. The purpose of this was to, well, I show you that I know what I'm doing, but same time, this is gambling. I'm going to be 1,000% with you. But how do you do this? If you backtest all the CPIs, you can tell that they sweep liquidity, like right here. They swept that, then they come down. Then they start making these on a 1 second, on a 1 minute. It's a lot easier to see, which I'll go right to it. Man, let me tell you something. This day was so fire, man. Today was one of my best days ever. So I'm gonna break this. This is gonna be a fire video. So if you don't like to sit through 20-minute videos, let me tell you, you are wasting your time because I'm giving you fire in these videos. Trust me, backtest everything I'm mentioning. So my entry is here, right? And we're not breaking that. They gap up right here, and this gap's going to be important for the rest of the day too. This gaps up, but it doesn't break that high, and they fucking always do that. Anyways, and then it'll shoot down, right? So as you'll see, there's the entry there, and by very, very, very few points I'm away. But where am I taking this to? I'm taking this down. So it shoots down and I'm automatically in profit. Now I screenshot it here, but I really closed at 6,700. So I'm not sure why it showed this. Maybe it dipped down a little more by the time I closed it. So, which, yeah, a matter of like, 20 some $100 in a matter of, me trying to screenshot some shit, right? I know I said I'll stop doing that, but I mean, it's hard not to do it. But anyways, what's the purpose of this? Okay, so this is a data low, right? And what did they do? They didn't take out, if you look on the 15-minute, they didn't take out any of these lows, right? So when I was saying yesterday, so you got to watch yesterday's video so this makes sense. This is one of the options I'm saying that we're supposed to be buying, right? So, and this is what it looks like now, technically. If I go to this, look at this, straight up. Now, of course, CPI is going to give you a big retrace, right? So obviously, if you were thinking that CPI was going to push it up, well, you have to understand that we want to wipe out liquidity down here, right, before we go up, and that's as simple as I was making when I mentioned that this was a shift. So you have to watch yesterday's video so this makes sense. I said, is this a shift with a question mark? Sure was. So that's a higher high. That's the higher low, and then this leg comes up, all right, right here, pushes down. Comes back up, comes down, which you think is confusing. I'll explain in a minute. But this is the real higher high, and that's the real higher low. This internal shit's bullshit. And then that's the new higher high coming up, right? So with that said, a lot to talk about in this video, but just pay attention. So anyways, right to that right there. Now, could I have pushed by here? Yeah, I know how to do that. But would I probably have got filled? No. Even closing this, my freaking screen was freezing. So, that's why we call it gambling, because, you're not really getting filled from the broker, right? But at the same time, the logic is still there. I'm already in the trade. It's not like I pushed the button when this came out. I was already in the trade. You know what I'm saying? And look how I did not get stopped out. We're talking about like massive, a small amount of points right there, right? But it gapped up and then there's no wick. It just literally shot down. So anyways, that's to answer anybody who's wondering about CPI. So that being the case, take a look here. So it drops, then it shoots all the way up. We used to catch this too, by the way. We used to buy this all the time. but shot up all the way right here. At this point, look at the in yesterday's video I said we weren't done completing this speaker model, right? I said that, right? And what do? We opened up, we gapped up, we took out those highs that I was trying to aim for yesterday, but knew we wouldn't get it. It was pretty much done. And then we popped up, right? And then, okay, so now pay attention to this. So we shoot down, we come back up, right? So, what do you call it? When we get up here, we get 3 drives up right here to me. So it's like 1, 2, 3. See that? So with the 3rd drive and us being up here, I'm taking the sell. Why? Because I'm not. I dropped. Let me tell you something. It's one of the best days I've ever had, and also I still dropped the ball and make plenty of mistakes today, right? But I'm still profitable, right? So even when I'm wrong, I'm still winning, right? So here's the deal. So 3rd drive up, and you get these. Look at these 3. Look at the 3 candles. I've made a video like yesterday about this shit. 3 candles coming down, right? Or you see the lower highs on the wicks, right? I'm entered there. Buy stop is there. And 50% above. I'm protecting. I'm telling you, I got this down to a science. Now, what am I looking for? Well, with this trade, and I always do this before, I'll get that into a second, never mind. But my goal here was to get into these gaps. You can't see it on this time frame. You can see this one on the 15 minutes. See how we gapped up when I mentioned that we gapped up when we took the sell from the CPI? Well, it gapped. So with it going up, it still needs to come back down because it's not mitigated, right? So my goal was to take it to this gap, right? And a little bit below. And that was my goal for this sell. I should have held it because we came down here for the data low. That kind of slipped my mind, but at the same time, I was trying to get away from pre-open. So I'm ready at 8:30, and normally I don't want to be ready. I don't want to trade at 8:30. I was just really confident and cocky, just to be honest with you. And that's kind of one of the reasons. But so we took this sell where? So right here, I screenshot it here. Obviously, we come all the way down here, right? But the goal here was to get to here. And then as you can see on the 15-minute, now we've closed that gap, right? Because the wick is still a gap. There's no body there, right? You see that? So it didn't even have to have a body. It could have just wicked it, and then went above. And that means it has now entered that area 3 times, right? So super game, what I'm telling you right now. So nice profit, took that shit, and then take a look. You see where we went. So here's where I dropped the ball the first time, right? Or the second time, I should say. So the first time I dropped the ball is I should have just held it for this data low, right? That's number 1. Number 2, when we opened up at 9:30 here, we pop up right here, and we take out that liquidity right there. We're still in this imbalance right there, and these down candles as resistance. So I should have took the sell, but I wanted to stay out of the market because I didn't know what it was going to do here, because it could have easily flew up, right, and got this later, right? Kind of like when we were talking. I didn't make a video on Friday, but when we made that data low right there, very similar. We hunted that data low, and that liquidity right there. But anyways, so I could have held it from the top, right? That would have been a massive trade. And number 2, I could have sold here, but I decided to stay out, which is fine. I'm not even mad about that. I'm still very happy and very emotional today about how I succeeded and the journey that it took, which is another story. But I'll tell you where I got pissed off. But should have took this sell, did not. All right, and then it came down here. Now, there's been times where it'll buy from here. So I try to take this buy once we raid this, and I get stopped out. No problem. Because I know it's either going to buy from here or buy from underneath it. Period. I already know the bias. I already know I'm going up. I know this is just to wipe out liquidity before we go back up. And people who are still trying to go underneath here, I told you, that shit ain't likely. I've been telling people that we're coming up, right? So anyways, we come down. We get to this area. Now look where the fucking price is right now. Look at the fucking entry. It's amazing. I'm proud of myself, for real. Price comes down. We wipe these 2 pieces right here, but we don't wipe that guy. Why don't we wipe out that guy? Well, because they have to reward people from some type of buying. Like they'll take these guys out, right? And this is very obvious. But here they don't take them out because they have to involve, they have to get, they have to allow people, like I took the trade from here and we bought up, remember? But they have to allow some people to win because otherwise no one will get in the game, right? And I'm going to keep it, and it's simple logic. So this low and this low is protected, right? And that's another reason, more reason to buy here. Anyway, so right here, we're on the dipped over sold as well, right? So I got all these little confluences going on, right? And then price digs, okay? And then this next candle digs in. Boom. That was what I needed. So it is below 50% and it's dirty. It's low. But I'm very confident in the trade. All right. And sure enough, look at the fucking trade. Look at this. Look at this. Now, I get out here, man. All right. So as you know where we went. So I'm going to explain it in a second, but because I pre-traded 930 and I got two big trades, I mean, two great trades profit-wise, I tend to get lazy at the 9:30 p.m. session, and I kind of want to already be done because for numerous reasons. I don't want to give back profit. I don't want to put more risk in the market. I don't want to overtrade. You name it. I just don't want to trade. But I wasn't missing this. But and this is the real trade that I wanted. But when the price comes up here, strong, right? This is my biggest day. Right here when I close this, it's my biggest day today. So we're double tapping up here. I'm like, you know what? I know we're taking these highs out. But I said, yo, just take the profit and have a nice fucking day. So what did we do? We shot the hell up. Now, the reason why I also took it out here, we got that gap right there. See that? We got that gap right there is nice. We're on the overbought and all the previous reasons I just told you. So I get out. And I sure enough, I was 100% right. We blew through it. So here's where I dropped the ball. In my eyes, I dropped the ball. I take the profit right there on this candle, this 1006. That's where I just explained I took the profit. So when I took the profit, I could have bought right here. And I understood that. You look at these two down candles, and it's imbalanced. I don't have to draw it out. I will, but I don't have to draw it out. Look at this. Clear. Very clear. Very, 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 very clear. Okay. Look. Boom. Buy. All right. So I could have done two things. I could have pushed my and I wanted every bit of that $11,000. And another thing I'm doing wrong is I'm trading my P&L sometimes. I'm human, and I'm trading my P&L, right? What I should be doing is trading the chart only. That should be a given. But hey, I'm human, and I'm being transparent, and I do make mistakes, right? But and I'm saying them out loud so I can get better than at what I'm doing. But what I could have done is I could have pushed the stop loss up here. 50% of this candle would have been perfect, right? And then I would have still been in the trade, right? So I could have just pushed it along. Instead, I took it out. And because I took it out, what could I have done? I could have entered here. I don't like entering in a spot like this. This is just me. This is where people can position. I don't position. I like the full boat. I like, that's just how I do it. And it works because once things starts retracing on me and I have a new entry, it just starts messing with my psychology and I just leave it alone. One day I'll be able to do that, but I don't really, I could do it now if I wanted to, but I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't need to either. As you see, I'm getting full boats. But anyways, I would have rather have not only just take this out, but I would have re-entered here. Now, what did it do? Well, we're making a new higher high, bro. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Yo, this day couldn't have got any fucking easier. Shot up for a high. Now look to the left. I told you guys that we would probably attack this imbalance right here. So what did we do? We did that. So we got up to here, right? So when you get up here, a couple drives, 1, 2, right there. And the crazy thing is, I know this might sound crazy. I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, but I knew it was going to sell back down here. Why? Because, well, not only because of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then new high, but because the breakout artist, when the price shot up, all right, when the price shot up, looked on the 15-minute. Right there, that high right there, which would be considered right here. If anybody had a stop a buy stop, they're in profit, right? So that's why they come back. I make videos about this all the time. Even when we broke this high, taking this sell down to where? Down to here is a minimum. Where would be the next place to take it? To that high right there. Where would be the next place to take this sell? Right there, right? Because when it shot up, they got in, and there's no mitigation here. There's no retrace. So taking this, I was done for the day here, right? Now, I'm going to show you where I got pissed and I dropped the ball again. So I didn't take this sell, obviously, and I knew it was coming down here, and it did. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. And then when the price gets to here, I'm like, look at this. It seals the imbalance, and we have this down candle right here, which is this 10-10. I'm on the 5-minute right now, and it buys from there again. And the thing is I knew it was going to buy here because it was going to make a new higher high. And take a look. I come out. So you can measure this a couple ways. You can't do it this way because you're not really going to get the entry. If you put it on the bodies, and you're learning game here. So back test this. Write this shit down. I'm telling you, I'm not here for just bullshit. You're wasting your time if you're not writing this stuff down and back testing it. So if you do from the bodies are where you want to enter more. You measure from range to range, but the bodies are telling the story, and that's where you want to enter. So I'm at a 50. This is a perfect place to buy. Now, I'm already done, and I told myself, it's your biggest day. Do not go back in the market. Who cares what happens? Guess what? I try to get back in. This is where I get pissed. Motherfuckers, dude, I swear. So this price dips down. Now I'm into this area, and on a 1 minute, this is a 1 minute, you can see it. It's pretty much, it's inside that, it dips down into this imbalance right here, and then you have these down candles right here, right? So dips in and it starts to reject. So I push the button, right? This is where I fuck up. Look where my stop loss is. 18,076 and a half. That's right there. 18,076 and a half. All right. And my entry is 11 points or whatever number, right? So I'm already more risk than I want to. Don't want to be in this trade, but I knew it was going up to make a new high. Look how it fucking got me. These motherfuckers got me. I have to laugh about it because it's crazy. But my stop loss was right here. Okay? So I'm already in the clear if I left my stop loss there. Okay, and what did they do? These dirty bastards. They came back down and they came deep. Now, usually when it comes this deep, it's going through, right? So this is one of the reasons why I didn't get back in. But it goes back to what I said yesterday and many days. Trust yourself, trust your analysis, but don't be so cheap on the stop. So I pushed the fucking stop right here because once we rejected, right? Once we rejected and we came up, we came back down and we took out that candle. Let me zoom in. This is the super game. So that candle right there, see how it comes down to 50%? I'm like, all right, that's great. It's what I want to see. And then I wanted to see it leave. It does that. Comes back down deep. I'm like, okay, it took out this low. All right. And I'm like, fine. I'm totally okay with them taking out that candle. Then it comes up. What do? I want to leave. I want to leave and go downstairs. And I put my stop right there. I put the fucking stop right there. And then they came down one more time. And I was like, fucking eating. I was trying to ride into the sunset while this thing shoots up and make another 10 grand, which would have been my biggest day ever. And it still was my biggest day today, but I mean, it would have been a massive day. And these bastards came down by almost 2 ticks. Couldn't believe it. I got stopped out, and then it was gone by the time I could re-enter. And I was like, no, I'm leaving this shit alone. Fucking walk away. Sure enough, I have to end up seeing this, which I knew would happen, dude. And where could you have taken this? You could have taken this to this gap right here is screaming that we're coming to it. Watch this. On a 5 minute, it was much more clear. If you take a look at these 2 gaps right here, very, very obvious. That one was a minimum target. This one would have been my second target. The high, of course, would have been the next target. And I probably would have definitely been done for that day, for this day. But these bastards, look at these motherfuckers, dude. They came deep. So, this is very rare when you see this, and you don't generally see double bottoms equal. If it was equal, I would have been happier with that, but they came up a couple ticks above. So, which is more of a reason why it's still buying. But I mean, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm fucking pissed. I'm not pissed that I missed this sell, that I didn't hold it or caught the 930. I'm not pissed that I didn't hold this longer, which I'm sort of. But I'm pissed about this because I fucking knew it was going up there. So I'm just having fun. I'm not trying to sound like I'm crazy. I'm just being real with you and all that. But man, if I was to have held this trade, that would have been my biggest trade of my career. My biggest trade was in August 10th, selling Dow Jones. August 10th, it was the same. I was at a funeral. Watch that video. It's fire. August 10th, 2023. I pushed the sell button while my aunt was getting buried. I was at the funeral and I fucking pushed sell, and it's a screenshot on my phone because I was away, and it was an $18,200 trade. This would have broke my $18,200 trade if I held it, and I was from down here. If I held it to where I would have held it, but I got out early, man. I mean, I saw the profit. I was trading my P&L, not the chart, man. So hope you're learning here of all this. But you can also see that, the bodies here on the 15-minute, they got stopped at that gap. They if I go back to a 1 minute, and there's so much to say, but I'm telling you, look at this shit, dude. Like, I could read this bitch like it's scary a little bit. But we get up here, price pushes down, seals the gap seals the imbalance immediately. So that's immediate rebalance, like perfect what you want to see going up. Comes right back, retraces right back to the gap. Look at that. Come on. It's perfect. Comes up. This is not buyers and sellers, people. Definitely not. So, and then pushes up. Now we have the opening gap for today, right? That's what the only things you see on my chart. I got it naked. I'm screenshotting all this. I don't need to mark my chart. You need to trade the chart naked. You don't need to have all this shit on your chart because of the fact that you'll just kind of like, it'll take your eye away from like what's really going on. But anyways, also, by the way, when we opened up at 930, we pushed up and then the opening range gap was here. So we came down and sealed it. I was mentioning some videos ago that the beginning of the week, generally the gaps are going to get refilled, higher probability, right? But anyways, you can see the algorithmic here. Right there, bouncing right off of it, coming up, and then yeah, man, this shit right here really pissed me off, bro. I swear on my mother, I was like, I know we're breaking this high. So let me show you this, and I'll be done. You're gonna really love this because people are like, how do you see this, or how did you be able to maneuver around this? No one on the internet's doing this. I don't give a fuck who they are. I've checked. No one on the internet is doing what I'm showing you. I promise you. One day I'll go live, but I like my freedom. So this is really what happened. I told you about this shift right here. This was a shift right above here, right with that, right? So this is the sequence. So I'm going to show you two things. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. All right. And then obviously that. All right. Take a look. So you're going to be like, yo, man, that's confusing. Right? You're going to be like, that's confusing. So higher low, higher high, higher low. You think this is the higher high. You think that's the higher low. You think that's the higher high. And then it sweeps. Right? But reality, what's really happening here is this. So you have to keep this in your ideas. Instead of someone thinking, oh, it's going to keep breaking lower. No, we have objectives up top. Who just been making money? All these people selling. So they're going up, right? But this is how it really worked out. That's why that low is protected, and these other ones, these other two are not. See that? See that? I'm trying to tell you, a super game. You still have structure here. You still have it. It just, you're getting confused with this data point. So another reason why to come below it is because it's a data point, right? They shot that there. And then also, damn, I was gonna say something. So you pretty much had your two drives and then finale, which means drive one, drive two, not this. This is all the same leg. Now it's finale because you see a raid right there. That's drive two. And then it shoots down and shoots up. That's drive three. So drive three with two higher lows. 1, 2. That's the two higher lows and the three higher highs. And then the retrace. All right, that's exactly what we got here. Very ugly, but it's the same logic. It's the same logic. I made a video. If you're following, you know what you know I've mentioned this before. All right, so then this is the retrace. Now this becomes the real higher low, the real higher high, and the real higher low from that higher low. Right? All this in between is bullshit. Doesn't mean anything. That's why I take this buy here. And where are we going? Up here. Now that's why I'm upset that I didn't keep going. But again, I'm the profit and me being done. I'm okay. I don't need to be right to wait it to here. But you know, a reminder to myself: don't trade your P&L. Trade the chart. You know, if you need to get out for other reasons, fine. I don't have to hold it to here. You know, you follow what I'm saying? But at the same time, look at this. Fucking easy, bro. Higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, dude. And that's why when people say, "Oh, you know, I don't believe in that retail structure," bro, you get you don't believe in it because of stuff like this, but you don't understand it. But you're not going to tell me that we don't have higher highs and higher lows in this business or in this chart. I mean, I'm sorry. It works. You just don't know how to use it. So yeah, man, that's all that, bro. And let me see here. Oh, 27 minutes. Fuck. Well, the ones who are gonna gain are gonna really appreciate it from watching it. So we came up here, we hit that. Obviously, going up is still in the picture. We might get a retracement back, but you're looking at macro higher highs, higher lows, probably taking out that high. So, and then you want to see, watch this. Oh, not S&P didn't do it, but yeah. Anyways, S&P. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. We also had a divergence right here on NAS. So when I took that buy here, we were below and they were not, right? So at the time when I took the buy here and I made a mistake, that's because they were all in agreement being up here. But I took a loss. No big deal. I have no problem losing $1,000 or $2,000 in losses to catch a trade that's going to go $10,000, $15,000. All right. So please understand that. I know what I'm doing when it comes to that case. So it's not gambling. It's just more of understanding, trusting just trusting yourself, man. It takes time for all this. So, anyways, that's the divergence there. Push this up, beautiful. So, real quick, where's dollar? Dollar, I said would rebound, so that pushes down first. So they pushed up with the news, and that kind of kept price there. And then as we were slowly dwindling down, we kept going back up. So there's a lot of potential of any direction here with dollar, to be honest with you. So the market is, you know, I'm still gonna take it easy. But if you look at Dow, also went up, cleared that liquidity above. These are all higher lows protecting still. And take a look at, God, it's so ugly, dude. Way too many gaps. Look how Dow shot down to their gap, their weak gap right there. See that? Do you have that on your chart? Probably not. See that? Shot right to it, dude. Like, come on. Higher high, higher low. So this is the higher low. So this is a higher high. Retrace back. Nope. This is an internal lower high, right? So that's the leg. That's the leg up, right? So super easy, right? But so you have to see it like this. You know what I'm saying? But and then what they do? Same man. God, I'm mad at myself because it was really easy. Higher high, higher low, and they made another high right there. So that's where we're at. So I don't know, if we take a look at what's tomorrow? Wednesday only? Fuck. So a lot can happen. But if you ask me, I mean, I'm gonna have to say, depending on Asia and London, I think we'll push up a little bit more, retrace back, so to speak, and then you're looking for a classic bullish week in this case, right? So, all right, I hope this helps you guys. Take care and God bless.